We walk around every day assuming our eyes work like video cameras, capturing a perfect, objective recording of reality. But the classic French drop coin garnish proves otherwise. Even when you expect a trick, your perception fails you. The study of why we fall for these tricks is a recognized niche within neuroscience called Neuromagic. Pioneered by visual neuroscientists Stephen Macknick and Susana Martinez-Conde, this field examines how magicians systematically exploit biological blind spots. The human brain operates as a frantic video editor, constantly cutting footage and hiding the seams. Magicians act as amateur neuroscientists who have learned to hack that editing software. To hack human perception, you have to understand the hardware of attention. We imagine it as a spotlight, illuminating what we choose to see. In reality, it functions as an anti-spotlight. Focusing on a central object actively suppresses peripheral visual information. This suppression intensifies when given a puzzle to solve. By forcing spectators to focus on a decoy, magicians trick the brain into dropping sensory input to conserve processing power. A magician's power comes from weaponizing the audience's own intelligence. They use these finite biological processing limits to render the actual sleight of hand invisible. To test these limits in a lab, researchers collaborated with Apollo Robbins, a theatrical pickpocket known as the gentleman thief. Robbins suspected that the specific trajectory of his hand's movement dictated the spectator's biological eye movements, regardless of their intent. The team used eye-tracking equipment to monitor subjects as they watched Robbins perform the French drop, specifically comparing straight-line movements to curved arcs. They wanted to see if an underground performer's anecdotal intuition could outsmart standard biological tracking mechanisms under clinical scrutiny. Straight-line motion triggers fast, saccadic eye movements. The gaze snaps to the endpoint, often catching the magician as eyes jump back. Conversely, curved motions engage the smooth pursuit system. Eyes track the entire arc, lingering on the empty hand long after the coin vanishes. Robbins proved how to physically prevent a target's eyes from tracking reality, dictating the exact visual information the brain uses to reconstruct the event. These exploits extend far beyond the stage. Society leverages these biological vulnerabilities to shape behavior every day. When a magician forces a card, they give the spectator the feeling of choice while maintaining total control. Digital algorithms do the same, providing curated options that lead you to a predetermined purchase. Charisma and storytelling act as social decoys. Fraudsters like Bernie Madoff use these traits to hijack the brain's social processing centers, occupying the same limited cognitive bandwidth used to spot the French drop, which effectively bypasses a victim's critical thinking. These cognitive vulnerabilities serve as the foundation for modern economic manipulation and large-scale deception. The highest stakes of this anti-spotlight effect occur in the real world through a phenomenon called inattentional blindness. A driver can look directly at a motorcyclist in an intersection and fail to see them. Their cognitive resources are so focused on the car ahead that the brain simply drops the visual data of the hazard. Human visual processing is a finite, predictable biological system. It relies on shortcuts to function within its bandwidth limits. Understanding these hardwired limits is the only way to stop being the mark and finally see the real-world sleight of hand.